At first glance, Blasters of the Universe appears to be your standard stay-in-place VR shooter. That wouldn't be too bad if you passed up on it, but you would be wrong. It does have the gameplay. It feels a lot like a game like John Wick, a lot of duck and cover. It has the bullet dodging feel of a game like Super Hot, and it has what feels like a level up system due to frequently unlocking new gun components and shield abilities that really affect your gameplay. The tone of the game is like most 30-something's high school experience, with mentions of arcades, the use of the word rad, and frequent references to kickin' ass. Although more Letterman jackets and 80 sports cars I think would have really completed the look, in my humble opinion. The antagonist of this game is, as he refers to himself, a virtual god. He's clearly quite lonely, frequently mentioning that he'd like to hang out with you right after he's done whipping your ass. The world you're in is of his design, and you seem to be just as trapped in it as he is. In between blasting wave after wave of creative enemies, you may stop to ponder, what if my own reality is simply a dreamlike construct of a superior race? Am I just a blip in someone else's constructed reality? Am I just so many ones and zeros in an alien's computer simulation? And all the while, you'll appreciate the hundreds of gun combinations and creative use of the shield mechanic that keeps the gameplay feeling fresh and intense. I accidentally started my playthrough on Horde mode, and this means that there isn't an end until you die. And this game can get overwhelming very quickly, and I just would not recommend playing the game on Horde mode until you really have got to play through quite a few levels. Once you beat the bosses of the levels, you get to move on and check out new areas, but don't be an idiot like me and start playing on Horde mode. Complete accident, but if you find yourself not ever reaching a boss, you'll realize, oh, you clicked the wrong button, which is one of my minor gripes. That part is easy to get confused.
Hey, spoiler alert! A giant robot is about to burst out of the ground and whip your ass!
This game has a lot of heart, and when it works, it really works. Gunfights can feel frenetic and crazy, and sometimes you'll feel like you're winning by a quarter of an inch. You pick the wrong gun combination, and you'll know it, because you'll find yourself overwhelmed and defeated very, very quickly. It's a game of trial and error, and even on the easiest settings, you'll die a lot before you understand how an enemy's flight pattern works or what weaknesses a particular boss has. As you learn timing, distancing, and how to move your body around the room to avoid incoming laser blobbies, you'll find yourself getting better and better with practice. Perhaps the most interesting mechanic in the game is the shield. You can't spam it. You start with a small one and it recharges quickly, you get a large one, absorbs a lot of damage, but if you take too much, you will suffer some negative consequences. The third shield, you get to strategically place 3 small shields all around wherever you want, which is, it just is such a cool mechanic, and you can't really spam it because it does eventually run out of energy. Playing through the levels, you unlock these cool new weapon and shield capabilities. Your gun changes by selecting the stock, the clip type, your ammo type, and your ammo modifier. And each one will significantly change the way you play. It reminded me a lot of the game Luftbrausers, which was the quick-play dogfighting game from Devolver Studios. And ammo modifiers are the real star here. Moving from a straight kinetic round to a laser that splits into 3 and then bounces off the walls, it really changes the strategic approach to the game. And that's exactly how I felt as I loaded out my weapon with one of the hundreds of possible combinations, is that I was strategizing to take on not only the enemy type for the upcoming level, but the environment itself. And as Karl Marx pointed out, in structuralism, it impacts everything about our worldview and our lack or abundance of choice. This game is fairly inexpensive and goes on sale from time to time, but even at full price, it's one of VR's true gems. For the price of admission, you also get to ponder the very nature of existence.